We start with the latest on the coronavirus situation in South Korea. A new social distancing scheme begins today, and South Korea will start the process of vaccinating older teenagers and pregnant women against COVID-19. For more on this and other COVID-19 related updates, joining us live in the studio is our reporter Kim Yeon-seung. Good afternoon, Yeon-seung.
Good afternoon.
Now, like I just mentioned, South Korea is starting its new, kind of more eased social distancing measures beginning today. Can you tell us more details on that?
Well, Mok-yeon, let's start with the good news. More people can gather under these new rules, and they don't have to worry whether it's before or after 6 p.m. anymore. What's more, these new rules may be the last of social distancing measures. Now, for the remaining 2 weeks of October, the capital region will remain under level 4, the highest of the social distancing scheme. Under this level, up to 8 people, including at least 4 who are fully vaccinated, can gather. Restaurants and cafes can stay open until 10 p.m. Take a look at this graphic here for a better understanding. As you can see, level 3 measures will be applied in non-capital regions. So in regions under level 3, up to 10 people can gather as long as at least 6 of the group are fully vaccinated. Also, operating hours for restaurants and cafes are extended to 12 a.m. But the extended hours do not apply to many entertainment facilities, which include bars and singing rooms, and they still have to close at 10 p.m. sharp. So keep that in mind, and especially if they are in the Greater Seoul area and cities like Busan, Gwangju, and Daejeon.
Well, these changes come on the back of our successful vaccination campaign. Now, speaking of vaccinations, can you tell us where are we now?
Well, as of Monday morning, almost 65% of the population have been fully vaccinated. Health authorities are now turning their attention to teenagers and pregnant women. Teenagers aged 16 or 17 can get their COVID-19 jab starting from Monday. More than 55% of those in that age group have reserved their jabs. Also, those who are younger, between the ages of 12 to 15, can also start reserving their Pfizer shots today, which they will get in November. Vaccinations for pregnant women have also started, with more than 2,500 women having signed up for their shots.
Right, Yeon-seung. Now let's turn to booster shots. Where are we now in terms of booster shots?
So far, 380,000 people in high-risk groups have already signed up for their booster shots. But the ones who also need to be considered as a priority group for boosters are those who got the Johnson & Johnson shots earlier this year. Now, a new study tracked more than 600,000 veterans who got the Johnson & Johnson shot in March, and health experts saw that the protection rate of those vaccines had fallen drastically within 5 months, from 88 to 3%. You know, one of the main draws to these Johnson & Johnson vaccines were that unlike Pfizer or Moderna, they were a one-shot deal. But now with studies pointing to waning immunity, different opinions are rising over whether this was the right call. For example, Dr. Anthony Fauci told ABC last Sunday that Johnson & Johnson's vaccines should have come in 2 doses from the start. Also, U.S. Food and Drug Administration last Friday voted unanimously to authorize boosters to those who got the Johnson & Johnson jab at least 2 months after they received their shot. South Korea is also currently working on a booster shot campaign that's due to start as early as December for those who were administered this particular jab.
Now, before we let you go, Yeon-seung, tell us about today's COVID-19 situation in South Korea.
Well, Mok-yeon, you might be pleased by this news because on Monday, health authorities logged in the lowest number of COVID-19 infections since early July, 1,050 new daily infections. Now, for the last 3 weeks, South Korea has been seeing an overall downward trend in infections, and some experts are attributing this downward slide to high vaccination rates. The average number of daily infections last week was down to 1,300, which is a notable decrease from what we saw at the end of September, which was an average of more than 2,000 cases. And Monday's tally can be seen as part of this declining trend.
Well, hopefully we will see this we will see this downward trend continue for the long term. Now, Yeon-seung, thank you so much for your efforts today. We will talk to you again tomorrow.